We're in the intro portion of putting up the tweet here.
All we need now is my internet to cut out during the show.
I'm already prepped for that because I prepped to be here without you. I already have the solo overlay set up, so just in case it happens, I can seamlessly make that move. Tweet is out, which means we are live. Not that you didn't already hear us for the last couple seconds. Anyway, what's going on, everybody? Here it comes, and boom. New graphics. What's going on, everybody? Friday. Made it through this week. Made it through the trade deadline. I didn't get traded to some other site, but we thought about trading Adam yesterday before 3 o'clock. I'll be honest here. 8-game slate today. It's going to be a difficult walkthrough because we don't totally know who's in, who's out for all of these trades. Rotations are going to look very different for a lot of these teams, so probably take a little bit of extra time just sort of getting an idea of where the guys that are going to get 20 plus minutes are going to land, because that's really the piece we need. I don't care how much if Glenn Robinson gets 8 minutes for the Pistons today is not all that big of a deal, but we'll look through that. As usual, promo code at the bottom of the screen, NBA strategy, one big word, 50% off your first month with us for any package you'd like, including Fantasy Cruncher. And we are brought to you by Thrive Fantasy. Thrive Fantasy is a new DFS site where you deal with player props. They give you a list of 20. You pick your favorite 10. You try to pick over or under points, rebounds, assists, maybe a combination of those. At the end of the show, Adam and I will go through our favorite 5. So, Adam, how'd your trade deadline DFS night go?
It ended up with me getting drunk at a bar and Ubering home. So I think that sums up how it went.
There you go.
Not in a story fashion.
I'm very happy with mine. I had a couple mild sweats, or would have had a couple mild sweats if I were awake. But
Yeah,
had a good night.
That's solid. So you got it. Okay, that's good. Yeah, I would have had some sweats if Serge Ibaka didn't get hurt, Jonathan Motley didn't suck, Lou Williams didn't suck, and I did 6 other things differently.
Yeah, I didn't have as much Lou Williams. You and I talked about Motley. I think he finished with 17.5 or something, so that didn't kill me at that price tag. I didn't have a ton of Lou Will, which was fine, and then I had 80% Van Vliet and 60% Siakam and 50% Lowry, so all of that stuff worked out. So I got a couple decent combinations that pushed me high.
Nice. Yeah. I was with you on the Toronto guys like Siakam and Lowry. Van Vliet and Jaren Jackson were my 2 guys that popular guys that I ended up being way underweight on and pivoting to other guys. So that combined with everything else I did wrong didn't help.
Yeah, that was one of the things I wanted to ask you last night and just didn't get to it. What happened getting Van Vliet pinched for you?
I just played a bunch of Danny Green over him, played a bunch of cheap guys because we had him projected for the highest ownership. So I just I was overweight or even with the field on every Toronto starter except Vliet, I felt was a good spot to just get away from 50% ownership.
Gotcha. I hope everybody likes the new visual. Keep me posted on if it's difficult or hard to see anything on my screen. Now that we don't have to be overlaid on top of it, I'll have the ability to make it a little bit bigger. So if anybody needs something like that, let me know. And we want to try to make adjustments just in case. This is the first time testing it out in practice, so we're not totally sure how everything will look for everyone, but we just know that it's we're making a move to make it look a little bit better for everybody. This is going to be a mess, man, but I'm kind of excited for it. We got it's just I started going through some of these things and I got to the middle of the slate, so somewhere in the Bucks range, and I realized oh man, this is going to take me just a clean 90 minutes to do this right off the bat, and so I'm still not confident.
Are you assuming anyone traded yesterday isn't available and anyone traded previously is?
I basically have everybody in right now, but we'll cross those bridges when we get to them, I guess. I really had no idea what to do. So
yeah, I mean it's a total guessing game.
all right, well let's just dive into it and walk through it. Pistons and Knicks, and not to mention, not only is it like sort of difficult from a logistical standpoint of knowing who is in and out. That's why we do this work for you guys. We do have all the lines now. That was where I was going with this. We didn't have half of the game lines for today, but Denver Philly is now out. I guessed -5. It's 4.5. I missed the total by 14 points though, so apparently I don't know shit there. The Warriors are favored by 15.5 in Phoenix. That's brutal. And now that AD is back, Pelicans by 6 today.
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting to watch.
Yeah, I mean, like, it sounds weird, but in all actuality, they basically only held him out twice. Like it's not like he wasn't actually hurt to start that whole like him sitting out. So it doesn't seem as weird as like, oh, they've had him on ice for 3 weeks and now nothing happened.
Right, and like he doesn't want to be there, but also I'm definitely putting it in the category of the whole reason I don't buy into a lot of narratives too. Like he's an ultra competitive person to be where he is.
Yeah,
he's not going to go out there and be like, oh, I don't want to be here. I'm not really going to fucking try. Like he's going to go try and play really well.
Yeah. Oh, without question. Without question. It's not like he's going to go out there and sandbag it like I don't know, Andrew Wiggins.
Yeah, exactly. It's just, I mean, like any professional athlete is just on like a different level mentally. Like he would rather suck it up and make like New Orleans happy for the next couple months than lose.
Not to mention, like they still have a shot, right? Like, are they totally dead in the water?
Last I looked, I think they're pretty far back. I don't remember exactly where.
Let me take a look at it quick, and then we can get in here. They are they might be dead in the water. 12% chance to make the playoffs per 538. I don't know how that figures in AD or not. 1, 2, 3. So they are. They're probably dead. They're 4 full games back of the Lakers right now, legitimately. Clippers ahead of them, Wolves right with them, Kings ahead of them, but that's not really a huge worry. Yeah, they're going to be in some trouble. Man, that's going to be pretty. And now no Mirotic, so.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
That's nice for DFS purposes, at least.
Yeah, sort of. We'll get there. Started off. Pistons and Knicks. Pistons 107.25 implied total. Knicks 98.75. Yikes. That is rough. God, the Knicks are bad. We start where we normally start. Andre Drummond, Blake Griffin. Drummond 10K on FanDuel, 8,600 on DraftKings. Blake in between both of those, 9 and 8,900. I like Blake a lot on FanDuel at 9K, and I don't have much of a problem with him at 8,900 on DK either. The only price that I don't totally love is Drummond at 10K on FanDuel on an 8-game slate, but it's still fine. I like both of these guys a lot.
Yeah, so do I. I prefer Blake to Drummond by a little bit, just because obviously you get a little bit more out of Blake. Different ways for him to put up a big score, and he normally plays a couple more minutes than Drummond as well. 8,900 and 9K is just way too cheap for him in a good spot here against the Knicks. But I like Drummond too at his DraftKings price tag. Not the same great matchup against the Knicks that it's been all season long. So be careful. Don't I know people like to look at DVP and stuff like that, but keep in mind they do have DeAndre Jordan now and not Enes Kanter.
Yeah.
Not that that's deterring me from Drummond. Just don't be the guy saying, "Oh, the Knicks suck against centers." But still at 8,600, it's a perfectly fine spot for him.
Yeah, it's not going to get much better for the Pistons here. It's not like I feel like Andre Drummond and DeAndre Jordan have played each other like 47 times this season.
I feel like they're the same person.
My dog just put himself under a blanket, fully under the blanket.
What did you say?
My dog just put himself fully underneath the blanket on my couch, and he's not like a burrower. He's pulling himself out now.
He's not big on the Pistons today.
Yeah, I'd hide my head too if I had to hear me talk about the Knicks.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Pistons, we don't have Reggie Bullock any longer. Ish Smith should be playing today. Do you think that Svi or Thon are playing today? I have them both in right now, but obviously that can be amended.
Yeah, I mean, I have them in right now. If they don't play, then I'll take them out.
Right. I don't see either of them being fantasy relevant.
Right.
Svi probably more important in this one just because the wing minutes would go up. So like it could make other guys more important, but I don't get the sense if Thon doesn't play, they're just going to, a different garbage big man that plays 14 minutes.
Yeah, if Thon doesn't play, then it's the same rotation as before, and you just have.
Yeah. Okay. Any interest in Reggie Jackson? 6,800 on FanDuel, 5,600 on DraftKings.
The DraftKings price is nice. FanDuel, I think he's pretty much as high as like he should ever be. But still playing big minutes here. Now you have guys missing, so potentially like Ish Smith is back, but you could potentially see more Jackson plus Ish lineups. I think his minutes kind of get more solidified by those trades. So I like him a little bit.
Woj tweet just hit our premium Slack. Here's what to expect with Anthony Davis's usage the rest of the way. Obviously not DFS usage. Fewer, right, if any, back-to-backs, and a reduction in minutes from his 37 per game, which I basically could have told you without Woj tweeting it.
Right.
I mean, yeah, they're just, they're not going to break AD, who is incredibly fragile to begin with.
Right.
Kennard, 3,500.
Yeah, kind of have to like him, I think.
Those first four guys, Drummond, Griffin, Jackson, Kennard, all in the 14 to 17% expected ownership range. Just FYI.
Yeah, I mean, he's not a guy that I like rostering at high ownership by any stretch, but he's near minimum price. He has to play more minutes here, you would think, and it's not even like he's kind of being forced into these minutes temporarily. They open the door for him to get these minutes. Like he's going to get this opportunity. So I think you kind of have to just suck it up and play a real Luke Kennard here.
I agree. I don't have anything else for this team, but probably just those first four, and I don't really have any interest in Ish, at least not yet.
No. If Svi's out, I think you get more run for like Langston Galloway, where not that he would be a like top player or anything, but he would certainly be in the conversation if like you were just looking for a Luke Kennard pivot. He would be a really natural one in that if he plays well and gets more minutes, he could just be taking them from Kennard.
That sounds good to me. To the Knicks we go, where well, this is a bit of a mess, but oddly easier. Wes Matthews not being there is super helpful. Dennis Smith, 6,600 on FanDuel, 5,800 on DK, garnering 15% ownership across both sites. Does that interest you at all?
Yes.
It doesn't interest me as much as I thought it would.
Why is that?
I don't know. Maybe I'm getting a little bit too narrative-y here. I feel like he's more popular because of the situation of like who he is and where he went than necessarily his production and what's going to happen. But if you think that he's playing a lot more minutes than 32, then we have a discussion.
I just think he's going to be incredibly productive here.
Okay.
Like not like in this game, just in general in New York.
I don't disagree. This just feels like a really rough spot. I don't think that people are paying as if our ownership is right and he's at 16%. I feel like people are missing the fact that they're projected to score less than 100 points.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. I do think he plays more than 32 minutes also.
Okay. Like obviously opportunity is there. There's no
right.
disagreement, and I think that's right. I think he's getting juice from like his name.
Like his last game.
Yeah, that doesn't hurt either.
Right. Yeah, I'm pulling up some stats on him now, but in that first game where he, absolutely bombed,
Yeah.
his opportunities though were just like through the roof. Like he played 25 minutes in that first game with the Knicks. He had like 12 potential assists in those 25 minutes, 11 potential rebounds or rebound chances in those 25 minutes. And then he came out and had a monster game the next day, which just kind of, I guess, maybe it's just confirmation bias, but after the first game, I was just like, holy shit, Dennis Smith Jr. is still a phenomenal play in the spot. And then he did it. So I imagine I'll end up going right back there.
Okay. Yeah, like I'm going to have some clearly. He just doesn't strike me as the guy that I want to follow the chalk with, at least not right now.
Like, so he's projected for similar ownership to Reggie Jackson, right?
Yeah, basically, and 14 and 16. So yeah.
I would rather have Dennis Smith.
I would absolutely rather have Dennis Smith. So we're on the same page there. I guess that makes the Reggie Jackson ownership really interesting. I mean, I was planning to get like 2 to 3% of Reggie Jackson, so I wasn't super fond of it. So that makes it even better.
Yeah.
DeAndre 6,800 and 6K getting no ownership whatsoever, just 2%. Anything for you here? I have him in for 28 minutes. This is a weird one for me. I assume that it's just he and Mitchell Robinson splitting center minutes. I just don't know what that split is going to be.
Right. And last game was actually weird. You got 24 and a half minutes from DeAndre. He only played 2 minutes and 5 seconds in the fourth quarter. And then Mitchell Robinson subbed back in and closed the game. On one hand, the Pistons were running away with it. The Pistons were at the beginning of a 15-4 run when he subbed out. They ended up winning the game by 13 points. On the other hand, Kevin Knox, Dennis Smith Jr., Wes Matthews, Lance Thomas, like these guys all stayed in. Jordan was the only one that subbed out. So it's kind of – oh, wait, did he foul out? 4, 5 – okay, he fouled out. Never mind. Ignore everything I was about to say. Yeah, I think 28 to 30 minutes for Jordan makes sense.
Okay. Just hard. He's a hard guy to prioritize, as we've talked about before. Unless his price craters, there's just a million centers, at least on DK, on a given day, and they have a lot more upside than he does. Yeah,
it's just that he doesn't have the offensive game to give you like a 40 and 20 game or a 30 and 20 game or something like that, whereas so many centers in the NBA now do.
What else is standing out for you? Ownership, everybody else is in the single digits, except for Knox on FanDuel at 5K, which makes perfect sense to me. I still like Vonleh a little bit, although he is now marginalized a little by not really getting any time at the 5. Do you want to try to make a distinction between Trier, Dotson, Hazonia, Lance Thomas?
I assume Dotson gets back into the starting lineup.
Yeah.
If that's the case, I mean, he's a good play at 3,600, should get the minutes. I don't expect him to set another, career high in scoring like he did last time he started, but it's kind of, guard territory where he's going to get the minutes. He's really cheap.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to have a hard time sifting through the Knicks today with this sort of outlook for the game, being a sub 100 guy. Or sub 100 team, rather. Sorry, I'm trying to do like 6,000 things at once. It's really hard to get enthusiastic about the Knicks.
Yeah, it is.
Let's move on, because this one is important. The Philadelphia 76ers are hosting the Denver Nuggets. 116.75 implied total for the Sixers, 112.25 for the Nuggets. Tobias Harris, I assume, plays. No reason to think otherwise. I have Embiid, Simmons, Butler, Harris all in for 36 minutes. Do you see that changing in any sort of way?
No, I mean, I think it's about right. Like maybe a couple minutes off of Embiid just because prior to the last couple of games, he was playing 34 a night, but nothing drastic.
Okay. Okay, so who do you like the most in that? What's after a trio?
Quartet.
Yes, thank you. I was like, quadro? I was like, don't say that out loud. Yes. Who do you like most in this quartet? Friday.
All of them? No, but I mean, Embiid, who has a questionable tag, assuming he goes, he's just been phenomenally good. Obviously, you can expect some of his usage to come down now that he has to deal with Tobias Harris, in addition to slowly getting acclimated to Jimmy Butler. Ben Simmons price tag at 8,400. I think he's probably the one who's the least likely to be negatively affected by the trade in terms of a per minute production standpoint, because he doesn't shoot anyway, and having another spacer out there in Tobias Harris certainly should make things easier. So I guess I would say Simmons is my favorite out of this group.
Okay. Yeah, Embiid's ownership projecting to be low because of that questionable tag. I hope that sticks around all the way up until lock, because I like him the most on both sites. Simmons getting the most love on both sites, 17% on FanDuel, 16 on DK. Look, I'm going to have all four of these guys in some sort of combination. We have no idea what the impact on the court is going to be. Someone's going to have a bad night here, just sort of by default. I don't know where the usage is going to break out. I can see a lot of opportunity for Harris. Open looks, lots of threes, getting him involved to start. If the shot's falling, like, he could have a really big one here. I really want to pay close attention to his ownership as the day goes on.
Yeah, I agree with that. Him and Butler, I feel like one of them has a good game and one of them doesn't.
Yeah. I feel like Butler is the new Gallinari.
Right. That's a good comparison. Like, Embiid's gonna get his. That I don't think a whole lot changes. I think that Embiid's usage probably can be projected safely for like what it was prior to the last month. Like the last month, he's been just getting all of it, even when Butler's on the floor. So I mean, you're talking probably a couple points drop, but nothing crazy. Like, he's still going to get his. Ben Simmons doesn't need it. Like, his value doesn't come from his usage. I think it's Butler and Harris where one of them probably cannibalizes the other on a night-to-night basis.
Redick at 4,900 on FanDuel. 12% expected ownership right now.
I mean, that's a really nice price tag.
It really is. I'm cool with it, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what his day looks like now.
Right. The minutes are going to be there. He's just going to get some open threes.
So the rest of the rotation for me, I have 24 minutes for TJ McConnell, 16 for Mike Scott, 12 for Korkmaz, and 8 for Bolden. Am I missing anybody, or did I say anything that sounds really crazy to you?
No, it sounds about right. Would you say playing 80% TJ McConnell's much?
Today?
Or ever?
Ever? Yeah, I would have said that to you 2 days ago as well. Yeah, I just, basically it was project the starters, basically give Mike Scott back up 4 minutes and the trickle of center minutes potentially, and then, just fill in the blanks as you can. James Ennis is on the team now. If he shows up, he could very easily take the Korkmaz minutes, I guess, but
yeah,
none of that should matter. Denver side, no Gary Harris. Paul Millsap questionable. Seems like a pretty familiar tale on a day-to-day basis for these Nuggets. 11-2 for Jokic on FanDuel, 10-4 on DraftKings. Instead of just talking about Jokic, who I love, clearly, we've had 3 major centers be talked about so far: Jokic, Embiid, Drummond. Any preference between the 3?
I think Embiid and Jokic are really, really close. I prefer them both to Drummond.
I think I greatly prefer Jokic to Embiid.
I'm shocked.
It didn't. I swear to God, too, it didn't even cross my mind of what I was saying. Jokic just has less to compete with.
Yeah. And I think if Millsap's out, that helps too.
Agreed. And really, Well, it's weird because I probably prefer Embiid if he continues to maintain his ownership. But if I'm comparing the two, like if someone asks me who do you like more, I can play one of the two, and I need like total points. I think I probably, well, my numbers say that I lean Embiid, so I guess I should just shut up.
I mean, so Jokic, the reason I think Millsap really makes a difference, it's not even in rates for Jokic, it's in minutes. You know, he played 34 minutes last game despite a hockey line shift, like 5 minutes in there, 4 minutes into the third quarter. With Plumlee playing alongside him, you can kind of project him for like 6 minutes as opposed to 33 or 34.
So I have Millsap in right now. Did you just immediately take him out?
No, I haven't been to. I'm just
okay. Well, the good news is projecting out these guys is pretty easy. Well, easy in that it's nothing's new. It's not like they're working anybody new in. Will Barton, I think, looks pretty good at FanDuel at 5,200. Have to assume that his minutes go back to normal. Do you think this is a Torrey Craig day or a Malik Beasley day? I've Beasley in for 32. I really don't know what to do with these guys anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I think that Craig and Barton kind of share minutes. I think Beasley gets his regardless.
Okay. Good to know.
I would say like 32 for Beasley.
Okay.
Maybe more.
I have 32 in right now. You just start projecting them, and it's like, now I need to start making decisions that I don't necessarily know.
Right. Yeah, I mean, so the first person I would take minutes from is Jared Vanderbilt. But
didn't see those coming on Wednesday after hashing all that shit out too.
Yeah, but I think Hernan Gomez is always like the one where if you need minutes, you can just take those.
Yeah, I have Hernan Gomez with 5, Trey Lyles with 10, so people can pump their brakes on Trey Lyles nonsense.
Wait, you have with Millsap in.
Yeah, if that changes and Lyles to 20.
Yeah,
Mace.
I was like,
30.
I hate. Yeah, I was like, I'm all about the whole like Trey Lyles is not a good play because they don't try to give minutes thing. But how's he playing 10 here?
Yeah, there you go. Man, some of these prices on FanDuel are crazy. Like Malik Beasley, 4,800, looks great. I would love to play. How many minutes do you think Monty Morris plays? Because that's kind of tricky at 5K on DK.
26.
Okay, I have him in for 23 right now. I just that's the piece I don't know the most. I mean, he basically plays all non-Jamal Murray point guard minutes, right? Or does that become Will Barton?
No, it should be Morris.
Okay. Yeah, it's hard to get him a lot more minutes if Malik Beasley keeps playing monster minutes.
Yeah, and I think 26 is probably like on the high end. If you look at his rotation against Brooklyn, after the first half he was on pace for about 20 to 22 minutes. He got a ton of minutes in the fourth quarter closing instead of Will Barton alongside Murray and Beasley. That's not something that you like expect to continue. So I would say 26 is like the high end on him. 22 is probably like the most accurate projection.
Okay. How do you want to manage Murray?
He's 6,100, so that's nice. It's a nice spot against Philly. Gary Harris being out certainly helps his usage. I have some interest. I mean, I think like I'd rather go to Dennis Smith Jr., but not factoring in ownership. I'd rather go to Dennis Smith Jr., but
yeah, Murray at 8 right now.
Yeah. I would say Murray is my second favorite play from Denver behind Jokic.
Agreed.
Really close with Beasley. Yeah, on DK.
On FanDuel, Beasley opens himself up at 48. Should be a fun game. I will certainly have this one on the old television. I want to see how the Sixers team looks.
Hopefully Denver doesn't get blown out for the third straight game.
Yeah, really. Oh, yeah. All righty, here we go. And honestly, this is just... I don't even know how to talk about this correctly. The line has moved slightly, so it's going to take a little bit of sting off of what I was about to say. The Washington Wizards hosting the Cleveland Cavaliers. When I entered this line, the Washington Wizards were 10-point favorites. 115.5 implied total for the Wiz, 106 for the Cavs, so it's 9.5 now. God, it's just insanity. Pace down spot for the Wiz. Do you have Jabari Parker and Portis in? I do.
I do too.
Okay. This one's going to take a couple seconds for us to walk through rotations because this is obviously a real piece. These guys are hyper playable. Bradley Beal, 9,400 on FanDuel, 8,800 on DK. I have no problem having some Beal here. That should be no surprise.
I don't either, but
it's not huge.
I think it's right, and I think that assuming Portis and Parker play, it doesn't do anything to Beal's minutes. But I do think it's worth noting they are both higher usage guys than Otto Porter. Like Beal now has guys to compete with for shots.
Right. Yeah. Yes, he does. You'd be surprised to know that Jabari Parker likes to shoot the ball from time to time.
Right. Is it weird that as a Wizards fan, I'm actually excited to watch these guys?
No, not at all. I mean, it's at least more exciting than it was 2 weeks ago.
Right. Yeah. I have no idea how it's going to work out, but I'm actually looking forward to watching the Wizards.
You should be. It might be a total shit show. Then they're going to be a turnstile on defense. But
oh yeah,
they were not a great defensive team previously. They had gotten better as of late, but integrating Bobby Portis and Jabari Parker into this and removing Porter, who, while he's not some phenomenal defender, he is better than both of those guys for sure.
I mean, Satoransky's got to be there. All right, guys, I subbed in for Wall. I made the defense better, and then you got me these two.
Basically. Okay. I have Portis in for 28 minutes. I clearly have very little confidence in that number. Basically split between power forward and center. Jan Mahinmi no longer getting minutes, in my opinion. Center just manned by some combination of Portis, Jeff Green, Thomas Bryant. Does that all sound right to you?
Yes.
Okay. I have Jabari in for 22 minutes. He's the one guy I don't know what to do with.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of where I'm at too, and it scares me because I could easily see him getting more, but I don't know where they come from.
I mean, they can come from Bobby Portis, I guess, but you would think they would want it to play Portis more than Parker because they're certainly not picking up Parker's option.
Right.
I still have Satoransky in for 34, Ariza in for 36. More than happy to have either one of those guys. But how many minutes do you have Bobby Portis in for?
26.
Okay. When I have him in for 28, he's basically my best play of the day on DraftKings at 5,300. And I assume that if I have him at 26, I'm still miles over the field. The field is at 17 right now.
Yeah, I think that he's a great play.
That makes me scary. That makes me scary.
That makes me scary.
Oh, God. It's going to be one of those days today, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know how I'm going to get through a solo show about Fantasy Cruncher Rewind today.
Oh, man. That sounds fun.
I guess.
Yeah, I didn't think ahead. I was like, oh, yeah, I'll have plenty of time tomorrow. I'll just leave my car at the bar. I'll go get it. I'll have a ton of time. I forgot that there was going to be 6 rotations where I have to pay attention to the news and guess a bunch of numbers.
Yeah, it's not fun. At least you don't have to write the deep dive.
That is true.
So I'm in for Beal in muted amounts. Tons of Portis. In for Satoransky. In for Ariza. Jeff Green looks good on both sides. Do you care about anything else? I mean, Jabari, we have to keep our eye on at least.
Yeah, I mean, this is it's kind of I guess it's comparable to the Pacers yesterday, where obviously you don't want all these guys together. If you're playing one lineup, you don't want to play 5 Wizards, but there's everyone here is a good play. Portis, Green, Satoransky, Ariza, Beal. Obviously they're not all going to go off, you wouldn't think, but 2 or 3 of them probably will.
You would think. Or, they get waxed by the Cavs. And the returning, potentially, Kevin Love.
Yeah. He would come back against the Wizards, too. He's just I don't know, I just have nightmares about Kevin Love.
No, you have nightmares about Shit, who did you have a dream about like a couple weeks ago? Garrett Temple?
I mean, those are happy dreams, not nightmares.
Yeah, tons of people having happy dreams about Garrett Temple. Do you want any of your boy Jordan McRae?
My boy. God, I hate that I ended up rostering him the other day, and he did. Like, I got exactly what I deserved on that one.
Yeah, same.
Obviously, rostering him after the Porter news, not like I didn't lie to people when I said I'd have 0.
Right.
But no, I don't want Jordan McRae.
No, I have him in for 13 minutes, so all the Jordan McRae stands can calm down. I think we're good on Wizards.
I mean, just a quick statement. Jordan McRae played 19 minutes without Otto Porter in a blowout last game. So if you thought that he was getting a bunch of minutes with Otto Porter in a competitive game when we did our show at 10 a.m. the other day, you just take your L.
Yeah, take your L. I've never seen someone in this YouTube chat take an L ever. Let's go to the Cavs. You could have put random on these minutes for some of these dudes, and I would have felt more comfortable coming out of it. Kevin Love is questionable. I put him in for 24 minutes. If you're confident in how you want to allocate the minutes to David Nwaba, Deng Adele, Jaren Blossom game, I don't know if Marquise Chris is going to play for the Cavs. I have him in for 8 minutes right now because I don't know who else to play. So I think everything that we mentioned for these top couple guys, we also need to mention how many minutes we think they're going to play. Nice pace up spot for the Cavs. Larry Nance, 6,500 FanDuel, 5,800 DraftKings, 29 minutes. Anything crazy there?
Nope, seems about right.
Okay. I'll have a mild amount because it's a decent spot. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, really good. Really good spot.
I mean, I kind of agreed that there was very little to say about that. Jordan Clarkson, 5,800 on FanDuel, 5,200 on DraftKings, 29 minutes.
Yeah, like I'll probably have like 28 because I like multiples of 2, but yes.
Is that a thing for you?
Yeah, it drives me crazy. I don't know why. I think it's just because I think it's because it makes the math easier, and I'm not good at addition. Yeah. But yeah, I hate projecting guys for like 37 or 35.
That's fair. Got a friend that can't put. I mean, I think this one's kind of popular. Can't put the TV on an odd number of volume.
I did not know that was a thing.
Yeah.
I never know like what number my TV's on. It's just loud or not loud.
It's what, like, as soon as the scrolling starts, if there's a visible number, it's not ending on 57 or something.
Oh yeah, yeah. I would say that like I've never actually like thought about that, but I definitely do the same thing.
Okay. Kevin Love, 24 minutes. Certainly, you're not playing him for 7,500 on DraftKings, no matter how many minutes they tell us he's playing. I think.
Yeah, I'm really glad that his price is there because I was expecting to look at it be like 4,800, and I'm just like, shit. If I give him 26, then he's a good play.
5K on FanDuel.
Oh God, there have to be better plays.
I mean, I assume we get some sort of news about him, and the news is probably going to be like, Kevin Love will have his minutes monitored, and we're going to be like, cool, thanks for nothing. I mean, 5K is reasonable. 5K is reasonable, particularly against the Wizards.
Yeah, and I mean, he's the entire offense.
Yeah. I mean, Jordan Clarkson might have something to say about that, but
yeah.
Colin Sexton, 32 minutes, 5K on FanDuel, 4,500 on DraftKings. He's 15% owned on both sites, and that for the most part, that makes sense to me.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I mean, it's Colin Sexton, but the opportunity and the price are nice.
Okay. Those are the 4 guys that I've just named now. Do you have any interest in anyone else for the Cavs?
No.
Okay. Yeah, I think I agree. 5% ownership to Nwaba right now on DK is the highest of everybody else. I think that's probably 1, reasonable, and 2, nothing worth talking about.
How many minutes do you have him at?
Nwaba?
Yeah.
27. I only project in odd numbers to irritate you.
Yeah, I mean, he played 23 last game. He's been like on a minutes limit since coming back.
There was a reason I did this. I can't remember what it was.
I guess the point is just like he's probably not playing like 36 or to where I would feel like I have to have Nwaba.
Yeah, I mean, remember, no Burks now, so we're filling in an additional 37 minutes. Hood was gone the last game, but also, clearly not available any longer. It doesn't really matter. 27 minutes or less, and I still don't really give a shit about David Nwaba.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, let's move on. 7:30 games. Okay, two things first. I think we realized that there's too much text in our scroll, so we're missing some of it. I don't know if anybody's seeing it, but one, hit that like button and enter a comment because we're doing another giveaway. And this is very similar to what we were doing during the Christmas season. But on February 13th, we're celebrating the 1-year anniversary of Awesemo. I think we should have used February 12th because that's my birthday and I would have liked the symmetry of it all, but I got outvoted. So we're going to give away a 1-year premium all access package on the 13th. As long as you like the video and comment after the video, you have an entrance into the drawing. So do that. It's really helpful to us. Helps us get a little bit more traction on YouTube, and you have the opportunity to win something dope. So it'll get announced on the live before lock and the final day before the All-Star break. So somebody's going to have an all-access membership coming back from the break. Wanted to get that in there. That was supposed to be on our bottom scroll thing, but apparently there seems to be some sort of text cap, and it's just cutting off in the middle. So we'll work on it.
So we got a little bit of news over the last few minutes. Marquise Chris available. Brandon Knight will not play.
Cool. I have Marquise Chris in and no Brandon Knight.
There you go. Svi is available.
I am clairvoyant.
Harris, Boban, and Mike Scott are available.
Cool. How much 2-center lineup of Boban and Embiid do you think we get? Really mess shit up. What's funny is they can do it probably.
Yeah. Well, for a second, I thought you were saying I thought you were talking about DFS lineups. I was just like, I don't think I will have any Boban plus Embiid lineups, Josh.
Yeah, I know.
But then I realized,
okay.
Maybe we get like a Sixers and Nuggets final, and you can just play Plumlee, Jokic versus Boban and Embiid.
There you go. I would love it. God, it would break Twitter. NBA Twitter, obviously, not like real life Twitter.
Yeah. I always forget that there's like other people on Twitter.
So do I.
Like, why would you ever use Twitter if you're not playing DFS?
Yeah. I basically don't. I mean, of everything that I follow, it's either DFS related, it's sports for the most part, or like deals from Amazon or Slick Deals or something, so that I know when I can buy more shit.
Right.
There's very little else coming through here. Professional wrestling. That's about it. God, I gotta get a life. The Brooklyn Nets hosting the Chicago Bulls. 116 implied total for the Nets. 107.5 for the Bulls. Welcome back, Karis LeVert. Apparently. So LeVert back, Crab back, and now the Nets are a pain in the dick again.
Yep.
8,800 for Russell, 8,200 on DK. I mean, I love him at this price point, and the fact that they're playing the Bulls, and the Bulls suck, but there's no telling how any sort of minutes with LeVert and Russell go. I mean, it's certainly a negative impact to D'Angelo Russell having the ball. He grades out really well for me on a per-minute basis, but I'm going to need to do a little bit of digging to see how those guys played earlier this season. Now, I have LeVert in for 16 minutes. I have Crab in for 16 minutes. I should have changed those to 15s before I said that out loud. Do you see any issues there?
No, I not in the minutes projections.
Okay.
I think that's as good a guess as you can make.
Okay. Those guys are not on the table for me. They just happen to be pieces that we need to talk about. What do you want to do with Russell tonight? He's jockey.
So, yeah, I mean, it's if he's popular, imagine that I'll end up being under. If he's not, then I imagine I'll end up being over because the upside is still there. It's just one more like risk factor, basically, Russell, because we don't know how many minutes LeVert's going to play. We don't know how many minutes he's going to play alongside Russell. There's no world in which LeVert coming back helps Russell. It's just a matter of to what degree it hurts him. So, if he's really popular, then I'll probably be under, just because, he's volatile enough as it is, with, Kenny Atkinson being his coach and his minutes from game to game kind of being wherever Atkinson feels like at the moment. So LeVert coming back, I think, just increases the volatility.
I agree. Jared Allen, Ed Davis, they're still in the same spot. I kind of like Jared Allen for 5K, but you need it to be the day that he gets the minutes.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously a great price tag. It's a great spot. I assume that I will have a pretty decent amount of Jared Allen. The problem, of course, is just that he plays somewhere between 22 and 32 minutes every night.
Yeah.
It's so like him at 5K and Ed Davis at 3,600. It's just kind of one of those spots where like one of those guys probably has a good game for their price.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I mean, Ed Davis at 3,600, like, it's not going to take much.
Right.
If you're playing Ed Davis, you are rooting for some fouls.
Or for Kenny Atkinson to just do his thing.
Yeah, that's also true. Okay. Any Napier for you, 4,700, because he's grading out better than anybody else on this team for me.
Probably not. I mean, I think like LeVert and Crabbe being back really scares me with Napier's minutes.
I have him at 28 right now. You think that's nuts?
I've been going 26 anyway.
27 it is.
I mean, I think 27 is actually the correct spot. I just can't get there.
This makes me this is such a revelation for me. I am so excited to abuse you with this. I will never put an even number in here again. I'm going to get the decimals and shit. I'm going to be projecting seconds.
I'm going to get the projection sheet on Saturday and have to go through every single player and change it to even numbers.
Yeah, I can. What's perfect is that there's the formula where you can round to like the nearest odd number. I'll just set it up so it force does it.
I'll notice it when I go to like change something for news, and I'll just like
why does
shut
this
down.
Keep staying at an odd number? Oh, son of a bitch! I love it. It makes me so happy. Look, I'm gonna even if I knock him down to 26 or 27. I mean, he's chalky. He's 18% on DK, 12% on FanDuel, but I'll have a little bit at least. I don't know.
So,
I'm irrationally high on him in life.
Where do the LeVert minutes come from?
I took every single minute from Travion Graham at this point.
Okay, that's very reasonable.
Now, they could just as easily come from Kuruks as well. That was sort of like the swing spot that I couldn't see. Like, Rondé Hollis-Jefferson's not dropping any lower than 21. He shouldn't be impacted. I can't imagine Damari Carroll dropping much lower. And, like, Joe Harris seems like a 30-minute guy no matter who's here.
Right.
So Travion Graham seemed to be the only guy that was, like, not a part of most of this shit for most of the time. So he's completely out of the rotation for me.
Yeah, okay, I think that's fair. Yeah, and he played 22 minutes last game. You can just throw 16 of those or whatever to LeVert.
Yeah. There's enough overlap in position there that I felt pretty comfortable with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So just to clarify, you now have someone in the starting lineup playing 0 minutes.
Wait, what?
I said, just to clarify, you now have someone who will probably start the game projected for 0 minutes.
Wait, so do you think that I should be projecting Travion Graham in?
I mean, I think he probably starts, right?
So should I pull them? Would you pull all of the minutes from Kuruks?
Or
do you think they go 11 deep?
I would pull a lot of minutes from Graham. Like, I think Graham probably just plays like an opening rotation of each half now.
Okay.
But so like he played 23 minutes last game. If we think LeVert's going to play like 16, you can just give Graham his like 8 or whatever.
Okay, so I'm just going to read off everything I have then, so we can get this done. Even though no one gives a shit about this many minutes for Nets.
That was completely. It was a throwaway comment from me. Like, I didn't mean you needed to give Graham his 8 minutes.
Well, now I just want to make sure that I have the relevant stuff right. Russell 33.
Sure.
Allen 27, Ed Davis 21, totally irrelevant. Napier 27.
Cannot possibly be correct.
Okay, but we're on the same page that it's like it's not wrong. It's just wrong to you in your head.
It's either 26 or 28.
Okay, Joe Harris 31.
I hate you so much.
It's in there as 31. I'm not even being a dick. Every single one of these are odd numbers except for Carroll, Levert, and Crab, and they're all sixes. It's 30. It's 31, and I didn't do it on purpose.
Yeah, sure. Joe Harris is good.
Okay, Ed Davis is 21. Damari Carroll 26.
Yep.
Hollis Jefferson 21. It's really 21. Yep. I'm not lying.
Yeah, that's fine.
So then I have Levert and Crab both at 16, which leaves 21 or 22 minutes will take you to 240 for Kuruks. So basically, you're saying cut that in half and split Kuruks and Travion Graham down the middle?
I'd probably go like 16 on Kuruks and like 8 on Graham.
Okay, that's fair.
Whatever.
Yeah. Either way, neither guy is playable.
Right.
Perfect.
Either way, everything we've talked about for the last 3 minutes is completely useless to everyone listening.
Perfect. That's my goal and for the 2 hours worth of this show. Bulls side. Porter playing? You have him in, I guess.
I have him in, yeah.
Okay, so do I. I have him in for 33 minutes.
Yeah.
Who knows? He could easily play more than that. 6,900 for Porter on FanDuel, 5,800 on DraftKings. I really like him for 5,800 on DK here.
So do I.
Homer.
It scares me. Yeah. I never like Otto Porter, but I like him here.
Okay, good to know. 7,800 for Zach LaVine on FanDuel, 6,900 on DraftKings. I had a monstrous amount of Zach LaVine on Wednesday, which went very well for me. He is grading out similarly today. I have him in for 36 minutes, and in a pace-up spot, I would like to have a lot of Zach LaVine once again.
Yeah, I agree with you. He was a really good play the other day. He's a good play again today. I was underweight on him the other day because all I've been doing this week is pivoting off of good chalk, apparently. But yeah.
Okay. Marketing 8,100 on FanDuel, 7K on DK. Similar ownership to LaVine on both sites. I greatly prefer Zach LaVine.
I love marketing.
Really? See, I have Zach LaVine so much more volatile than Marketing. So while they project similarly, it just goes to LaVine so much more.
Marketing should just get a bunch of center minutes here against Brooklyn, which is really nice.
You think? How have they been handling it? Like, I have Lopez for 26 and Felicio for 20.
Actually, yeah, I guess that's weird. Last game, they basically only played Lopez and Felicio. Prior to trading Bobby Portis, Markkanen was playing center.
I know. I didn't understand it, but that was like, they did that for 48 minutes, and I was just like, okay. Is that a one-game blip because they didn't see it coming, or that's going to take more information? Okay.
So no. But
Lopez is gone.
What?
I think they bought him out. That's what chat's freaking out about. And like I definitely remember seeing that.
I didn't.
No, they did not buy him out yet. Bulls hold firm on not buying out Robin Lopez in the Chicago Tribune 16 hours ago. So, sorry, YouTube chat.
Okay, so here's the thing on those center minutes, though, that I think actually makes sense. In that game against the Pels, where we saw them split the minutes between Lopez and Felicio, you didn't have Jabari Parker. You didn't have any. You didn't really have anyone to play the four other than Lauri Markkanen.
Yeah.
So he played 41 minutes at power forward. Now, by adding Otto Porter, you have someone that can play that position, and you can have Markkanen play center.
Do you think they do that, though? So I gave Markkanen 33 minutes at power forward, 2 at center, and I gave Otto Porter the other 15 minutes at power forward.
I think Markkanen plays like 36 minutes, and I think he plays a lot. I mean, not a lot, but I think he gets some pretty significant run at center.
So then you move most of Otto Porter's minutes come at the 4 then?
Right.
Okay. It's not that I disagree with you. I mean, that's what I would do.
Well, so and this is going completely from memory, so it could definitely be wrong, but I'm pretty sure there was a game a couple games ago for the Bulls where um, it was the last game Parker was out. Uh, Portis,
February 2nd.
Portis and Lopez played like all of the center minutes. Markkanen didn't get any, if I remember correctly.
Portis played 34 minutes. Lopez played 17. Felicio played 12.
Right. So, yeah, I just think that Parker being out and them not having, I mean, the people that played in this game against the Pels, like Lopez, Markkanen, Selden, Dunn, Levine, TLC, Felicio, Arcidiacono, Harrison. None of those guys other than Markkanen are really going to play the 4 in a normal rotation. So I think it was just Markkanen played almost all of those minutes, and they had to give Lopez and Felicio more at the 5.
I mean, this all opens up if we find out in the next 8 hours that Robin Lopez does in fact get bought out.
Yeah, no.
Then everything is thrown in the garbage and none of it matters. So you're picturing Felicio getting what, like 10 minutes here then?
Yeah, probably like 12.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, get like Lopez probably like, I don't know, 26, Felicio like 12 to 14, and then Markkanen the rest.
Okay. Okay, so I assume that in this scenario you do not have TLC playing today.
Not 20 minutes.
That's going to be one I'm going to dig into a little bit more. We're going to need some news. Legalize, I don't ignore this chat, but I took a break from you verbally abusing us in Slack to, look at somewhere else where that wasn't happening. Thanks, man. You're probably not listening to this. You mentioned earlier today that you listened for 10 minutes and shut it off, so...
Yeah, no, he doesn't watch the shows. He just, yeah.
Yeah, love you. Do we think Levine will play? Game time decision. I have no reason to suspect he won't. It's probable, isn't he?
Last I'd seen.
Let me double check it, and then we can get out of this game. Did not practice on Thursday. Probable to play against the Nets. Do you care about anything else from Chicago?
No. And now you have me chat.
Now I what?
Now you have me reading chat just to figure out what you were talking about.
All right, moving on. Dallas Mavericks hosting the Milwaukee Bucks. 107.25 implied total for the Mavs. 115.25 for the Bucks. Well, it's a pace up spot for Dallas, but a little bit of a defensive struggle. No Chris Middleton though, which is helpful. Do you think Mirotic plays?
No.
Okay, I have him in right now, but this would be one where I would not be shocked that he doesn't play.
Yeah.
Ya boy Luka. 10K FanDuel, 9,500 DraftKings, 47 on Yahoo. I continue to not get a ton of them, and now it's for different reasons. I don't know what to do with him, but he's so damn good.
Yeah, he really, really, really is. I mean, 34 to 35 minutes of a 1.4 guy, 1.4 fantasy point per minute guy is pretty appealing.
It really is.
And he contributes everywhere. It's not like it's just scoring or just assists or anything. I mean, the guy does everything.
Yeah, we have his ownership projected at 5 and 6% depending on the site, and that's where I see him. I also have him at 1.25 points per minute for today. He's been at 1.44 the last 30 days.
Yeah,
so I'm gonna dig,
and that's without even Dennis Smith Jr. off the floor or anything.
Yeah, so I'm gonna take a look at that. I'll probably get him up in the 1.3 and change range. I assume that 1.44 is a bit of a heater, but yeah. Oh look, I'm gonna have some Luka here. It's just not having Middleton is going to be helpful, but this is not a great spot for Dallas. Milwaukee just absolutely terrifying.
They're so good.
I know, and even better now.
Yep.
How did that debate with Siege end up? I saw you guys going back and forth about Mirotic in the pick and roll, and then I didn't see any more.
I don't really remember how it ended, but I'm pretty sure that I won because how would I ever lose an argument there?
Oh, well, yeah. All right, that I agree with. All right, Timmy Hardaway.
No, I mean,
wait, go ahead.
So I don't think that the closing lineup for the Bucks in the playoffs is going to involve Mirotic and Brook Lopez on the floor at the same time.
You would be correct. Barring depending on what the team is, if it's the finals and they're playing the Sixers, you might see
the NBA is broken.
The Eastern Conference Finals. I mean, you could see someone on Embiid, but I still don't think Mirotic is probably on the floor in that scenario.
Yeah, I mean the whole reason that trade is so good is because it just gives them so many options. Like if they're trailing in a game or it's a competitive game down the stretch, they can go small with Giannis and Mirotic at the 4 and 5 and get Mirotic's offense. If they're up by 8 with 3 minutes left or whatever, you can still play like Sterling Brown or Tony Snell or something, or DJ Wilson. Like they just have so many different lineups they can run out there that are all good, effective lineups for different purposes.
Yeah, they're really nasty. If I were the Sixers, I would much rather have gotten Mirotic in that spot for what they paid than Tobias Harris for what they paid.
Yeah.
Hardaway at 6K, 4,900 on DK. That looks really appealing.
And we played 26 minutes last game.
Yeah, I have him in for 30 now. I just felt like that was a change of scenery, 26 minutes. I just don't know where else the minutes go. Remember, no Harry Barnes now.
Right, that's a good point.
And totally I have Justin Jackson in for 24. Who the hell knows? Don't play him.
Yeah, DFS should get as many minutes as he can physically play.
I put him in for 32 right now. That number can go up.
Yeah.
And that was just mostly a function of I didn't want to overproject anyone until we had a conversation.
Right. Yeah, no, I'm with you on Hardaway. I just totally blanked on Harrison Barnes. Yeah. So yeah, I mean that clearly makes him the second option offensively. Not that he wouldn't have been anyway, but now they need him even more in that regard.
Yeah.
It opens up minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, I have him in for 30, and that number could easily be 34.
Right. Yeah, I agree with you.
Okay. Dwight Powell, 6K on FanDuel, 4,400 on DraftKings. That seems
finally got
fun.
Yeah. So they closed against Charlotte. They closed with Kleba and Powell next to each other, which is cool.
Finally.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, if you're gonna, I think projecting Powell for 26 minutes is probably kind of a nice happy medium to go to, and at 4,400, I imagine that gets me a pretty good amount of him because he's a plus point per minute guy.
How many minutes or how much do you think you'd get of him if you had him at 27 minutes, which is where I have him? I'm not kidding either.
No, that's what he played last game. Yeah.
Oh, this is great. This is so great.
The best part of that whole minutes thing is I'll run a crunch and I'll be I'm getting way too much of this guy, and I'll look and I'll be oh yeah, I'm at 36 minutes. It's probably a little high, and then I'll put him at 34, and it's oh man, I'm not getting any of them. I don't know what to do.
Will you move him to 35 in that, or is it just fuck it? You gotta do what you gotta do.
It's much more often than it should be. It's yeah, fuck it.
That's so outstanding. God, that makes me so happy. Any Maxey? 53 and 42. These guys are really underpriced on DraftKings.
Yeah, 42 is really nice there as well. I don't think I would want to play Powell and Maxey together, even though they closed alongside each other. You're just kind of painting yourself in a corner where you have to get that closing lineup for it to really work out.
Yeah.
And it's not like they're a big team here. So I don't think I would want to play them together, but they're both definitely underpriced for what they can do.
Yeah, if they were playing the Suns, I might have less of an issue playing them together. Playing them together against the Bucks feels like a bit of a losing proposition. Luka is at 9,500 on DK. Everybody else is 4,900 or less. I think we're good on Dallas. Let's go to Milwaukee.
My Knights playing a bunch of Dallas against the Bucks. This should be good.
$12,000 for Giannis on FanDuel, 11-4 on DK. I mean, what do you do here? I don't like Giannis on DraftKings. Like, from a relative standpoint, clearly he is like a 1.7 guy and he has 55 plus fantasy points, but what's the dream scenario coming out of this game?
Somehow plays 34 minutes because the Bucks actually play a competitive game.
Yeah. Like FanDuel, he's at 12K. Next closest guy is Durant at 9.8. And then after that, the next closest person is Otto Porter at 6,900. So if Kevin Durant were not on this slate, there would be a $5,100 gap between Giannis and the next person.
Right. Wow.
So I understand using him on FanDuel, especially if value continues to open up. But I mean, it's just a tough sell for me on DraftKings.
Yeah, I agree. There's just so many, different ways to go. And as good as he is from a fantasy standpoint, like I was talking in chat last game when Giannis was playing, if the Bucks were in the Western Conference, so they were playing, good teams night in and night out, he would probably be the most valuable player in DFS.
Yeah.
But that's not the case. And so you just, the minutes are a real concern here. He's played 258 minutes alongside Bledsoe without Middleton this, not surprisingly, 1.74 DraftKings points per minute.
Guy's nasty. Do you prefer Bledsoe or Brogdon?
Again, like a not very big sample, but 258 minutes there. Bledsoe's averaged 1.05 DraftKings points per minute. Brogdon's been on the floor for 117 of those minutes, and he's averaged 1.04 DraftKings points per minute. Looking
I
at
almost
their,
threw up on myself.
What?
I took a sip of coffee and it didn't go well.
Oh. Yes, I mean, I like them both a lot. Bledsoe's been really good lately, like 1.25 fantasy points per minute. Brogdon right around a fantasy point per minute as well. I think you probably see them both tick up a little bit.
Bledsoe's been at 1.37 for the last month.
Oh, wow. That's even more than I remembered. Yeah, so I mean, I think I like both of those guys a lot. I think that I probably get more Bledsoe and more Brogdon than Giannis. On DraftKings, at least.
I totally agree. I like, my order would be Bledsoe, then Brogdon, then Giannis.
Yeah.
And X Cossack says these guys say not to consider blowouts, and they do the exact same thing, or they do that exact thing with this game. It's only relevant to me for Giannis.
Yeah. And it's not even.
It's not a blowout so much. He's not going to get. He needs every bit of those minutes to pay off that ceiling right now.
Yeah, he doesn't play 38 minutes.
Yeah.
Like other guys in that price range do.
Yeah. Like I expect one way or the other. Like I've got Bledsoe and Brogdon in for 30 or 31. That's
right. Yeah, no, I'll project Giannis for 34 minutes.
Yeah.
Because that's what he plays in most competitive games.
Yeah. It's just relevant for him because he's 12K and not 10-5.
Like if Giannis played 38 or 39 minutes in competitive games, I'd be projecting him for 38 or 39 minutes. He just doesn't.
Yeah. And I just assume that the Bucks smack the Mavs because they just smack everybody every night. I don't know what else to do anymore. And somehow they got better without impacting their current team. Okay. What do we got? Any Lopez, Mirotic if he plays? Any interest in either of these guys? I think Lopez for 5,400 on FanDuel is okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. I don't think it will be something I get a lot of.
Okay. Aaron Borchard said, can you play both? I assume he means Bledsoe and Brogdon.
Yes.
Yeah, no issues. I don't... Yeah, like, if I got to it, it wouldn't be an issue to me. It wouldn't be something I would seek out either.
Yeah, if I were like hand building a lineup, I wouldn't be like, oh, sweet, I can play Bledsoe and Brogdon here.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to set a rule against it.
All
Whereas
right.
I probably will set a rule saying that if I have Giannis, I don't want Bledsoe and Brogdon.
Right. Awesome DFS rules. Don't predict blowouts. Don't look at game logs. Matchups don't matter.
Yeah.
For the most part. That's about spot
Sounds
on.
about right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, do look at game logs. I want to know what people did. Don't overreact to them.
Don't look at what the score, like what the result was. Look at like how often they shot and how many minutes they played.
Yeah.
And then figure out why.
I don't know why this Brandon guy keeps saying go back to the blue screen. What blue screen? Never had a blue screen. It's either just been a lot of the spreadsheet or what I have on here now. Never had a blue screen ever. If you mean my desktop, that's purple. Because, well, I watched way too much Gossip Girl. That's probably not a path I wanted to go down or say out loud, huh?
Nope, you did not. Why did you watch so much Gossip Girl?
Well, it was on in college, so that was happening at the time. Blake Lively, Leighton Meester, both fantastic on the eyes.
Did you not have Google in college?
Google?
Like, so you could, just look at Blake Lively without watching Gossip Girl?
It was 2005, man. Yeah, I had it.
Damn.
Very, very different set of circumstances. This wasn't 4 years ago. I had, yes, I had a cable package. You were at the mercy of whatever was on. Netflix sent you DVDs in the mail.
Oh, man. Yeah. Yeah, I went to college in the good times when I could just lay in my bed and not go to class and binge watch Netflix.
See, I did all of that, but I just binge played Halo or binge played poker. But no, there was no like streaming stuff. I would hope that I could find something to pirate.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Like BitTorrent and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So sometimes you were just on the mercy of like whatever was on television.
All right, that's a little bit better.
Yeah. Well, I got really into Chuck Bass because he was like a real big piece of shit on the show, and I enjoyed that.
Well, I mean, one of my best friends, and he went to college the same exact time that I did, would willingly watch. Damn it, I can't think of the name, but it's definitely it's kind of comparable to Gossip Girl as
One
far
Tree
as
Hill?
like. No, not like the same kind of show, but it's definitely. Damn, that's gonna piss me off. I'll think of it later.
Give me any other details. I'll land on this. I probably watched it too.
Something. The character's name is A.
Oh, Pretty Little Liars?
Yeah.
Fuck. I shouldn't have answered that as quickly as I did. Yeah, Leighton Meester is still looking like a snack. I agree. Alrighty, let's move on here because I don't think anybody else cares about that. But yeah, Netflix DVDs in the mail.
I still have one of those laying around the house somewhere.
A Netflix DVD?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would get as many as I could. I would burn them that same day. They'd go right back into the mail, and a couple days later, the same thing would happen. Turns out, when I met my wife, she was doing the exact same thing. Had this massive binder of burned DVDs from Netflix. I was like, huh, alrighty. Ah, the good old days. Kids are never going to understand the struggle. Or taking 15 minutes to download a song to make a CD. Yeah. Now, every song that's ever existed just is in your pocket always. Crazy.
Right. Yeah, like burning CDs before, like I can remember I went to college like 30 minutes from Ocean City, and I can remember like when I was going to go to the beach, just like burning a CD to listen to on the way to the beach.
Yep. For real. It was nuts. I can still picture like burning a CD, going out. One of my best friends lived directly across the street from me. He would drive to school, so I'd get in the Jeep. I'd be like, got a new one. It was just like,
yeah.
New Cameron track leading it off. 107.75 implied total for the Suns. 123.25 for the Golden State Warriors. This seems like a beating. Boy. All right, we'll start on the Suns side, I guess. Booker play today?
Sure.
Probably doesn't need to.
I mean, like I have him in right now, but I have no idea.
Ayton 7,300 on FanDuel, 6,500 on DK. I'm gonna have Ayton.
So am I.
Yeah.
So the nice thing here is if you did want to concern yourself with a blowout, it doesn't matter that much for the Suns. They're going to play their guys regardless. They just lost by 28 to the Jazz, and DeAndre Ayton subbed out at the 1 minute and 34-second mark of the fourth quarter. We've seen this. We've seen previously this season that like Ayton gets his minutes. It doesn't matter. The Suns are just trying to develop their guys. He's going to play. Jackson's going to play. Oubre's blowout proof. Most of the guys you would want to play from the Suns, it doesn't matter what the score is.
Agreed. Totally agree. What stands out most for you in this entire game?
$4,300 Tyler Johnson.
I put him in for 20. I wanted to say an odd number, and I couldn't. 26 minutes.
I have 28 right now.
Okay. Yeah, I'm in for it. I assume he's not that owned.
Yeah, I don't know. But I mean, like Elie Okobo has been playing, 32, 33 minutes. Now you have Johnson starting. I think he could get more than 28.
Yeah, it wouldn't shock me. I mean, you can. It's pretty easy to cut minutes from Elie Okobo or Crawford or whatever, so they're there. What are we getting tagged in? Jesus. Oh, what is happening here? I'll read this later. That our personal DM for us.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna zip my lips right now. I'm gonna end up having Ayton, Josh Jackson in more lineups than the public, and then I'll have a trickle of Booker, Oubre, Bridges. That's where I'm at for Phoenix.
Sorry, I was reading. Yeah, no.
Warriors: Durant, Curry, Cousins, Green, Clay. I mean, does somebody sit? That's really the most important question here, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Obviously, we don't know right now.
Who do you like the most?
Clay.
He probably like starts the least.
Really?
I think so.
I mean, he starts the fourth quarter, which is nice. It helps solidify his minutes. He's cheap. Him and Dre both, obviously are cheap, which is pretty nice. And he's capable of being the one that just goes nuts and, takes over the game.
Cousins grading out the best for me.
I just can't play. I can't pay almost $7,000 for a guy that's going to play 24, 25 minutes. Tops.
Been at 1.5 fantasy points per minute.
Yeah, I don't think that holds going forward for one. And for two, he's always owned, and he's still playing 24 to 25 minutes, except for last game in a blowout when he played 16.
Yeah. That actually surprised me that he didn't play more in the blowout. Like I felt like he was, I don't want to say blowout proof, but like I just figured they were going to continue to give him the same run because they're
we didn't do it before too, where like none of the starters came in the fourth, but he still got his 6 minutes or whatever.
Yeah. The only reason that I'm mildly more interested in Cousins now, one, he's not getting owned at like 45% or whatever nonsense was happening right out of the gate, but if he's going to continue to approach each outing as a reliever in baseball, then I think that he can maintain that sort of rate.
That's a good point. I hadn't thought about it like that.
Because it's not like we're getting 25 minutes of DeMarcus Cousins and he's pacing himself for 34. Like,
right.
I feel like he's just going balls to the wall. He doesn't care about fouls. Like, he's just gonna play his balls off for 25 minutes if he's out there.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point. So I guess in this situation, he can keep that permanent production. It's still really, really tough though for him to like give you a score at 6,700 that you have to have.
Kevin Love will start and have a minutes limit if he plays Friday.
Yeah, I saw that and I started to mention it and it was just like I don't even feel like reading this out loud.
That's not a. Don't send that tweet out, then.
Yeah.
Oh, Ted, come on. You Chad is on me today. Blowout proof, but we don't consider blowouts, I thought. Not.
It's something that happens. I don't like change my minutes projection.
No.
But if someone's blowout proof, it increases their floor.
Yes. Thank you. Oh God. I'm being tested today. Oh. Yeah, so I'm ranking them Cousins, Green, Curry, Durant on DK. I had a bunch of these guys in the ass beating 2 days ago. And I'll probably do it again. Especially like if Durant and Curry are 6% owned on DraftKings, like I'm okay with being over the field there. Because the chances that they put up 60 or like it's there, and that's gonna matter for me. Especially on a day where there's not a lot else at the top end.
Yeah, no, I agree with you there.
Oh yeah, apparently it's Klay Thompson's birthday today.
Excellent. Now I really like him.
I hope you're sarcastic there.
I mean, I already liked him a lot.
Yeah.
It did not change one way or the other.
What's really weird is that I think that could be a reasonable narrative for them to just like feed him. It strikes me as Klay having a birthday strikes me as the type of thing that the Warriors would be like really excited to get him going for.
Especially like in a game where they can do whatever the hell. Like they could feed on they could feed Sean Livingston here and they'd win this game.
Yeah. But like they could get all China Klay, know that they're going to go out and get bombed in Phoenix tonight.
Right.
Like
right.
That's the only thing. I feel like they would get off on having Klay have fun.
Right.
Because he seems to be that kind of guy for them.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I agree. It's not changing anything projection wise, but I agree.
No, not. I would never make an adjustment for that in my numbers. Right. But like on the surface, I see it as like, yo, buddy, we're letting you rip tonight. Happy birthday, bud.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's narratives do exist. The whole reason that we say to ignore them, and same with blowouts, is that you can't predict them accurately enough for it to be useful for you. Like you're not going to be right enough over the course of an entire season. Like guessing what does not matter, what games do and do not blow out, blah blah blah. They do exist, and this is certainly a spot where you could see that happen with Klay. But it's not like it should change what you're doing.
Brian Lewis just killed it here. Devin Booker won't share the hose if Klay makes them look stupid, though. Well, great job, Brian. You're coming in with the good stuff. Any Looney?
Not really.
Okay, that's fair.
I mean, he played 18 minutes. Like, yeah, he played 18 minutes even in a 40-point blowout. Like, if he's not getting blowout run, it really just, again, not predicting a blowout, but as an avenue for him to have a better game than projected, it really kind of dampens things.
All right. 2 more games to go. Then we get to thrive. The New Orleans Pelicans hosting the Minnesota Timberwolves. 119.75 implied total for the Pels, 113.75 for the Wolves. 6-point favorites for New Orleans, second highest total on the slate. Welcome back, New Orleans. Anthony Davis, $13,000 on FanDuel, $11,200 on DraftKings. I have him in at 36 minutes right now. I don't know if that holds any longer. I'm not really sure what to do, but at 36 minutes, I like him at 11 too.
Yeah, I'll probably go with 36. That would be less than he was playing in competitive games.
Yeah.
And it's a, reasonable number. And I like him too, as long as he's not going to be highly owned.
Okay. God, it's exciting. Welcome back, AD. Drew Holiday 9,400 on FanDuel, 9,200 on DK. 92 on DK is going to be a pretty tough sell now.
Yeah, I mean, it's just with Davis back, even if he does play less minutes or whatever, it's still, you're losing permanent production from Drew.
Yeah, we know there's a tweet that said AD will have a minutes reduction. That could be from 39 to 36. Dude plays monster minutes when he's on the floor.
Right.
He plays the minutes that we want Giannis to play.
Also, let's not pretend Alvin Gentry hasn't said things before a game like, I want to monitor Anthony Davis and DeMarcus Cousins minutes, and then played them for 40 minutes each.
Very true. Randall, 8,300 on FanDuel, 8K on DK. We're going to have a conversation about who plays here. Like, do you have Stanley Johnson in? How many minutes do you think Kenrich Williams plays? What happens to Okafor?
Yeah, I mean, I think Okafor is useless now.
Yeah, I have him in for 14 minutes.
Stanley Johnson I have in for like 10.
Same. I have this whole damn team in even numbers.
There you go. Yeah, like Kenrich Williams, I have trouble seeing how he gets a bunch of minutes, but I don't know, maybe he plays like 28 to 30.
Ooh, okay, so I have him at 14. So let's have a talk here then. I have Randall at 32. Do you think that's too much?
No.
Okay. Darius Miller at 30?
I have like 26.
Okay.
But I think 30 is good. Like I'll probably like right now I have Kenrich at 30 and Miller at 26, but I'll probably flip that.
Okay. Eton Moore. 28?
24.
Okay. And then after that, it's Frazier at 20, Frank Jackson at 20, Okafor at 14. Everybody else marginal.
Agreed.
Kenrich was the guy that I didn't really know what to do with. And I figured they would go to more Darius Miller than him.
Do you have Diallo playing?
No.
Okay.
They don't ever play that dude. They
Except
don't even play him when they need to play him.
He played 23 minutes last game, which
I know, that's insanity. I don't think any coach in the league hates anybody more than Alvin Gentry hates Chuck Diallo.
Right. It only took like 3 years, but we finally got a nice Chuck Diallo run where he was useful in DFS.
Yeah. So ultimately, I don't, as much as I want to like a lot here because of the high total and the pace of this game, it's just like AD and some Julius Randle for me, barring news.
Yeah, I'm with you.
All right, for the Minnesota side, 11-2 for Towns, 10K on DK. I mean, he's a little chalky. I had a ton yesterday. I'm going to have a ton again today.
I agree.
I love this dude.
So Rose and Teague are both questionable, right?
I have Teague in and Rose out right now.
Yeah, I think that's probably what I'll do also.
Okay.
Yeah, my guess yesterday was that Teague would sit yesterday and play today.
Wiggins, 6K on FanDuel, 6K on DK. Is he the best play of the slate?
Definitely up there.
Oh, God, that's disgusting to say out loud.
It's just, I mean, so for one, it's a nice matchup against the Pels. But for two, even if you look at Wiggins' per minute production, he's like a fantasy point per minute guy. That's not good. But when you're talking about someone at $6,000 that's playing 36 to 38 minutes a night, if he just hits that average, it doesn't, like, you don't love it, but it's not like the end of the world. And he doesn't need to outperform his averages by that much to just be a really, really good play. And when you factor in the pace and the matchup and everything here, it's just really hard not to like Wiggins.
It's craziness. He's my number one guy on DK. I want to see where he is on FanDuel, but I assume that it's pretty close to that number, at least as of right now. Yeah, he's my number one guy on both sites. What would change that would be as more value opens, the priority of higher price guys will rise. But he's going to be like a top 5 guy on both sites no matter what. He's at 14% projected ownership on DK, and I'm probably going to be in the neighborhood of like 40-something.
Right, yeah. Also, if Rose and Teague both play, it's a little bit of a hit.
Yes, absolutely. That is a good piece to point out. He will, and even just Teague will bring him down a little bit, but he's still, there's just too much volume there.
Yeah.
I don't have any interest in Teague if he plays outside of like, a couple lineups in 150. I don't really care too much about this Taj Saric shit that's going on.
Yeah. Who did Minnesota play yesterday? I'm drawing a blank.
I don't remember.
I'm trying to get their game up on Popcorn Machine.
They played the Magic.
Okay. In Orlando.
Taj played 21 minutes. Saric played 21 minutes.
Yeah, so
I mean, it's basically Towns and Wiggins to me, and that's it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that if you're playing a lot of lineups on DraftKings, like I would assume I get some Taj at 4K, but
sure.
The priorities for me are.
I would assume I would get a couple lineups of Okogie as well, depending on how the injuries shake out.
Also, Jared Bayless is questionable. Like, there's a chance that you have, Isaiah Cannon suddenly as the starting point guard.
That is a very good thing to point out. Bayless left in the 4th and didn't come back. I have Bayless in for 18 minutes now that Teague is back. So.
Yeah, I mean, but if Teague is out, like you could, that would be a pretty big piece of value if Isaiah Cannon suddenly is playing 36 minutes.
Oh my, he's the chalk play of the day. Flat minimum on both sites. And he's not like utter garbage in fantasy either at 34 minutes or something. Like he's going to grade out insane. Alrighty. Moving on.
Yep.
Final game, Sacramento Kings. Late night hammer hosting the Miami Heat. 110.25 implied total for the Kings, 107.25 for the Heat. Lots to talk about here. Harry Barnes on the Kings now. I have him in. Miami no longer with Wayne Ellington, no longer with Tyler Johnson. Sacramento no longer with Justin Jackson, Zebo, not that matters. We'll start at the top. De'Aaron Fox is 7,500 on FanDuel, 7,200 on DraftKings, 27 on Yahoo. I think he's just kind of there today.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Okay. Willie Cauley-Stein is 5,400 on FanDuel, 5,500 on DraftKings, 17 on Yahoo. That $5,400 price tag on FanDuel looks good.
Yeah, it's going to get me to fall into the trap probably.
Yep, fell into it 2 nights ago.
Yep. But, I mean, the minutes were there. It just ended up being a blowout, and he didn't play in the 4th quarter.
Was it you and I that talked about the Nuggets having a G League team, or was that Laffy?
It was you and me.
Okay. Since they do not have one, TJ McBride says, according to Shams, the Nuggets will be sending Isaiah Thomas to the G League as he gets closer to returning, but they have to find a team to send him to. I just saw the tweet come up now. It's not like I was holding on to that one.
I'm going to just stick it to Adam here because he thought they had a G League team.
It's just I looked at Twitter and I just happened to see it. Buddy Hield, 6,500 on FanDuel, 6,600 on DraftKings. Much like Fox, any shares that I get are fine. He's not going to be any sort of volume.
Yep.
Bagley, 6,700 on FanDuel, 6,200 on DK. I will probably be underweight. He's in double digits in exposure, and while I like him, seems unnecessary.
Yeah, I mean, I'll have him at 28 minutes. I doubt that gets me a ton now that his price tag's coming up.
I have him in at 29. Oh, yeah, I love it. Bogdan, who ended up with quite a bit of exposure from the two of us 2 nights ago. Shout out Fantasy Cruncher Late Swaptimizer. I don't mind him at 5K.
No, me neither. I like him.
Yeah, so do I. How do you want to manage Harry Barnes? 55 on FanDuel, 52 on DK, 0.73 fantasy points per minute over his last 30. That is the lowest total on the Kings in this game.
It's not like he's going to a team that should increase his usage in Dallas either. Heald, Fox, Bogdanovich when he's out there, Bagley when he's out there, they are going to take more than most of the guys Barnes was playing with in Dallas. So I think that, like when he was in Dallas, it was always kind of just like, Barnes plays minutes. He doesn't do a whole lot. I think that's even more so the case now, although he is on a faster team at least.
Yeah. Most of the Kings are just falling into this, I'm willing to just have a little bit, except for Willie Cauley-Stein on FanDuel, where I think that he is just a little bit underpriced. Although on FanDuel, it's a little bit. If there were two centers, Willie Cauley-Stein would be really popular. With just one, like, there's enough at the top end that it's not a huge deal.
Right. And it's also probably worth pointing out that this is the Kings right now are probably the team that we've talked about, out of the teams we've talked about, where I am either them and the Wizards, where like I am the least confident in what their rotation is going to look like after their trade. Because you have Barnes replacing Jackson, who was playing, 8 minutes. And like he had lost minutes to where he was playing like 8 to 12 minutes. I assume Barnes is playing more minutes than that, which means those minutes come from, Bjelica, Hield, Bogdanovich, I don't know.
Yeah, I have Bjelica at 19 right now.
Yeah, same here. But that's basically what he'd been playing anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Barnes is going to get 30 plus minutes. They are planning to re-sign him. He's going to be a piece of the Kings, so he's not coming in to be like a rotation piece. I can't advocate for him all that much because, well, one, I don't trust it. Two, he's not.
Does Bjelica just DNP here?
Does what?
Does Bjelica just DNP here?
In place of who?
Barnes.
I mean, I've got 240 minutes projected right now with Bjelica playing 19. So my question more is like, who is getting those 19 in your mind? I have Harry Giles at 15, Yogi Ferrell at 16. Wait, do you have an extra guy that I'm missing somehow?
What do you have Bogdanovich at?
31.
I feel like there's someone missing.
Shump's gone.
Right. Oh, right. Yeah. Okay. There you go. That's it. I was thinking Justin. Yep. Good now.
Okay. To be fair, I totally forgot about Chump until I scrolled right and looked at the minutes, or we were on the same page, and I was like, shit, do I gotta give like Frank Mason minutes? Scal's gone.
Right. Yeah, I was just like staring at the Kings rotation last game, and I was just like, I know there's someone else that I'm not remembering that is not in this.
Yeah. Okay. I was just like, I don't know what to do, man. I don't know who these minutes are supposed to go to if they're not going to be Jelly. All right, Miami. Clap it up for the Miami Heat right now. They get off of Tyler Johnson's contract. They get off of Wayne. And just really, really solid cap gymnastics. They're saving themselves a lot of money. And all they had to do was eat Ryan Anderson. Turned $19 million guaranteed next year into like a $15 million partial guarantee. Really smart move from the Miami Brain Trust that no one gives a shit about on a DFS show. Pace up spot for the Heat. Do you have a preference in the Whiteside Bam Adebayo duo? See, I knew that was duo.
There you go. I mean, my preference is Whiteside. It's not with a ton of confidence, but he's the one more likely to break a slate.
Yeah, agreed. 4,100 for Bam on FanDuel. If you're playing bulk lineups, that's an interesting price tag. Is he a power forward or a center right now? Shit fluctuates like the moon. He is a power forward. Yeah, so like using Bam as a power forward on FanDuel is kind of appealing to me.
Yeah,
in 150, not in one.
Yep.
Okay. Do you like Whiteside here? 6,800 on DraftKings, 13% ownership.
Yeah, I do. I think it's a good spot. A team that gives up a bunch of rebounds, and Whiteside should be able to eat when he's out there. It's just a matter of how many minutes he plays.
We missed Alec Burks for the Kings.
Oh, yeah, I meant to say that, and I totally forgot.
Well, let's just say he's out.
I don't.
Out of all these guys, we got everybody until the final game.
I don't have him playing enough minutes to matter.
Yeah, who would they take? All right, so Hield's minutes aren't going anywhere. Darren Fox's minutes aren't going anywhere.
Bogdanovich's, you would hope, aren't going anywhere.
Yeah, so it's basically, who do you think plays Yogi Ferrell or Alec Burks, right?
Well, wait, so basically, Burks can take the Josh Jackson minutes, and Barnes is taking the Shumpert minutes.
Okay.
Right?
I don't know, man. I'm at 240 right now. Who do you want me to take minutes away from to give them to Alec Burks?
Do you have Frank Mason playing?
I do not.
Okay, so here are the people that I have playing, or that I think play. Fox,
yes.
Bagley,
yes.
Hield,
yes.
Bogdanovich,
yes.
Barnes,
yes.
Cauley-Stein.
Yes, all of those guys we'll say are at like the 30-ish minute number. Some more. Okay, sure. But like that's the general area for those guys. Those are the guys that are playing a lot, regardless.
Right. Okay, and then Bjelica, Giles, Ferrell.
Yes. Those are the other three guys that I have, and I have them splitting 50 minutes right now.
Like 45.
So it's either Bjelica basically stops playing for Burks or Ferrell stops playing for Burks.
I have Bjelica at 16 and Ferrell at like 14.
I have 19 and 16 there. But if I take those away, like all that's doing is just giving Alec Burks 8.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's irrelevant for DFS, I think.
That I agree with.
Like, it's probably just a minute or two here and there from different guys.
Yeah. People have been asking about, they signed Corey Brewer to a 10-day. Corey Brewer is only playing for the Sacramento team if Harrison Barnes isn't available today. Like, they're not working Corey Brewer into this if everybody's healthy.
Yeah, they're
available. I don't see a situation. I don't know how, if X Cossack said Burks will be the backup 2 and 3 and play 20 to 25 minutes. I don't know where they come from.
Bogdanovich is the backup. Well, I guess he's starting now. No. He's still the backup 2 and 3.
Yeah. And that is not a place where they should remove him in place of Alec Burks. Yeah, I don't... Yeah, I can't see him getting much more than 10 minutes right now. Unless they give a complete haircut to Bjelica. But even still, his lowest total of minutes in his last 6 games is 13. Like, so then at best, from where I have him right now, that's 6 minutes to Alec Burks.
Yeah, I don't think it matters.
X Cossack, you're killing me here. If you think Burks plays 10 minutes, that means Bogdan and Buddy play 35 to 40. I literally have all of mine on there. That's If I think that Burks plays 10 minutes, I think that it's what I have on the screen. Okay. Yeah, ultimately, I don't think it matters. Just don't play Bjelica, Giles, Ferrell, or Burks. It shouldn't matter from a DFS perspective. All right, back to Miami. Josh Richardson, 6,600 on FanDuel, 6,100 on DraftKings. He's in the same spot that Josh Richardson is in every other game for me.
Exactly.
Winslow, 5,800 on FanDuel, 5,500 on DK. I'm cool with that.
Yeah, I like Winslow. Tyler Johnson being traded, I think, at the very least, does not hurt Winslow.
Who is the backup point guard now? Dwayne Wade?
Josh Richardson. Yeah, Wade or Richardson.
Okay. I like Wade kind of for 5K on DK, but it's still Dwayne Wade.
His minutes have been trending up a little bit too.
Yeah.
I mean, not like anything crazy, but playing 26 to 28 more than he's playing 24.
Yeah. Waiters 39 is terrifying.
Yep, I'll be there.
Yeah, so will I.
I won't be happy about it.
Did you get a cabana on Waiters Island for this one? Olenek at 42.
I love how he got inserted into the starting lineup and then played less minutes than.
I can't talk about what they do to Kelly Olynyk on this team. And I love that they traded for the homeless man's version of Kelly Olynyk.
Who?
Ryan Anderson.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Watch him play 30 today.
Right.
Fucking Heat.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll have Olynyk at 4,200. It's a good matchup. It's tough to ignore. It won't be with a lot of confidence.
Waiters Island is where the Fire Festival is held. Top notch. That's good, man.
Yeah, that's good.
Kudos. See, I have no problem shouting out the YouTube chat when you drop bombs like that. That's fantastic. That's the good stuff. Makes everybody happy and laugh. I guess we should have just posed the Heat like this. Who don't you want? Full stop. Magruder? Because he's 3,200 and it's just like, well.
Right, exactly. Man. I don't even want to play today after realizing how much I'm going to have Miami.
All 9 guys are in play.
Yep. Set rules. Make sure you don't get like Olynyk and Johnson together. You probably don't want a whole lot of like Waiters plus Wade kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Obviously, you don't want both.
I have Richardson at 35 minutes. I have Justice Winslow at 33. I'm not trying to be a dick. I have everybody else in between 22 and 27. This team, man.
Yeah.
And like, think about the error bars on that. So it's basically like, yeah, everybody plays between 18 and 32. And it's like, oh, okay, cool. How do you project that?
Right. Yeah, like I'm going to end up with like this entire team at like 26 minutes outside of Richardson and Winslow.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a game hell bent on scenarios.
Yep.
Okay. We done?
It's the type of team where if you're single entering a lineup, good luck guessing how it goes. And if you're max entering, you want exposure to a bunch of different guys.
Yep. You should have at least a share of 9 separate guys on the Heat today. You could probably get away from Dwayne Wade for 6,300 on FanDuel. Otherwise, good luck. You ready to thrive?
Yep.
Do it. Thrive Fantasy, guys. bit.ly/awesemo. Gonna take a look at some player props. And I didn't reach out to Thrive yet, but Thrive reached out to us. We can get a rake-free contest set up for Adam and I. What I think we'll do, and we'll have this little production meeting right now on the air. I think we can do one head-to-head a week, or like every week after the All-Star break. Winner of the series gets the Thrive shirt that Thrive has promised us.
Yeah, sounds good.
Perfect. That'll be exciting. So we'll start that up after we get back from the All-Star break. All-Star break starts next Thursday. All-Star break starts next Friday, technically. Thursday, Valentine's Day is the last day of games. Then we come back on the 21st. So on the 22nd, we'll use that day as the jumping off point for the head-to-head Thrive contest between Adam and I. And the winner gets a Thrive t-shirt straight from the guys at Thrive Fantasy. I said Thrive a lot in that last stretch. First one up on the list of interesting props to look at. Holy hell. Okay, this one will be fun. Thomas Bryant. Even action on both sides. 23.5 points plus rebounds.
Feels like the under.
Doesn't it, though?
23.5 minutes would have been a good one.
I don't disagree. I couldn't even believe his name was there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm smashing the under there.
Yeah, 17.4 for me right now. Yeah, not going to get to Thomas Bryant on that one. Giannis Antetokounmpo, even action on both sides. 45.5 points, rebounds, and assists.
I have the over.
I typed Giannis.
47.8. What'd you say?
I typed his name wrong first, so nothing was coming up. I have him at 45.2, so I'm passing on this one. D'Angelo Russell. Even action? Nope, 95 points for the over. Points plus assists, 29.5. This one's interesting due to the fact that Karis LeVert is back.
Yeah. I have him at 32.4, but with 95 points for the over, it's one that I probably wouldn't pick, but if I had to pick the over.
Yeah, I have him at 31.2, which makes me lean over, but this would be one that I would probably get away from. Okay. Dwayne Wade. We're looking for guys that we don't normally talk about. Even action, points, rebounds, and assists, 21.5. And that number is spot on. Damn, Dwayne Wade doesn't do anything on the basketball floor. Jesus. I got him at 21.8. Yeah, that's a great line.
I have 22.7.
14, 4, and 4 tonight. Get it, D-Wade. Any of these standing out for you? Are you looking at them?
Steph Curry, 36.5 points plus rebounds, even action, both sides.
Really got to give us rebounds on that? Well, they're pretty close, I guess. I think I said that the last time, too. I am smashing the under?
Yeah, I just did a double take at how low I had that.
31.9 for me?
Yeah, I was the same. I just gave him a couple more minutes, and now I'm at 33.9.
Yeah, nothing I could do to not get the under there.
Yeah.
There we go, everybody. Go to bit.ly/Osimo if you want to sign up for Thrive. All right, rest of the day. Deep dive coming out from Lofty in the early afternoon. Deeper dive coming up at 4:45?
Yes.
Okay. Live before lock, Chris and Eddie at 6. I will be back at 1 p.m. doing a video on how to use Fantasy Cruncher's lineup rewind tool, which I find to be one of the most, if not the most important tool in DFS, and it's completely free. So come join me for that. Happy to take all the questions you guys have. We'll do a bunch of examples, go for about 45 minutes to an hour. And then please like this video and drop a comment in the comments section. If you do that, similar to the Christmas season, you have the opportunity to win a premium all-access annual subscription from us. We will be announcing that next week. We're coming up on the 1-year anniversary of Osimo.com, so we want to have a little bit of a giveaway for you guys. So check that out. Adam, anything else?
Nope.
All righty. Best of luck, everybody. Keep a close eye on, if you're a premium subscriber, keep a close eye on Slack and on the projection updates. We're going to be getting a lot of news throughout the day of people being in or out. So things will be changing quite a bit for this, for what we've gone over today. So you want to make sure you're abreast of the situation. We are out of here. Best of luck, everybody. Bye.